Good evening and welcome to the Reston Community Center Board of Governors monthly meeting for June 2022. Meeting is now called to order. First order of business is the approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Next order of business is approval of the minutes of May 2nd, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Next order of business is approval of the May 2nd, 2022 board actions.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Next order of business is the chair's remarks. The chair wants to say welcome to Morna, because I wasn't here last month to welcome you. COVID I don't know how I have managed, and I need to knock on something. I have managed to not get COVID. I went to New York and was with a whole bunch of people for days, nobody wearing a mask, and we had to be tested every 2 days, and so that was great, but yeah, because when we moved from one place to another place, you had to prove that you didn't have COVID before you could come in. And I ended up, the reason I wasn't here last month is because I was in quarantine, because Esme brought COVID home to us, because
she's a child.
She's a child, and one kid was sick, and somebody decided that it would be okay if they played outside without their mask, and that was how that happened. So, and so as soon as we got through that, she likes to go every Sunday. They go to see her abuela and her abuelo, and I'm not allowed to speak Spanish in my house, you see, because his family is Spanish, and they have monopoly on that language. But anyway, they usually visit them, and then we found out after we came out of quarantine that both the grandmother and the grandfather had COVID, because the son had brought it home to them. And so he couldn't go back to work, and they couldn't go visit.
Well, here you are.
But here I am, and my sciatica is whatever it is. I think I was trying to find a poem that dealt with pain. I need to write it because nobody writes what it is I want to say about it. But Esme graduated from kindergarten and has already enrolled in Forest Edge starting next year.
Yay.
Wow.
She's so excited. So I couldn't find a poem that made sense about pain. There are a lot of crazy things. But our Billy Collins, the poem is My Life. Sometimes I see it as a straight line drawn with a pencil and a ruler, transecting the circle of the world. Or as a finger piercing a smoke ring, casual, inquisitive. But then the sun will come out, or the phone will ring, and I will cease to wonder if it is one thing, a large ball of air and memory, or many things, a string of small farming towns, a dark road winding through them. Let us say it is a field I have been hoeing every day, hoeing and singing, then going to sleep in one of its furrows. Or now that it is more than half over, a partially open door, rain dripping from the eaves. Like yours, it could be anything. A nest with one egg, a hallway that leads to 1,000 rooms, whatever happens to float into view. When I close my eyes or look out a window for more than a few minutes, so that some days I think it must be everything and nothing all at once.
So beautiful, though.
So that's our Billy Collins. Next order of business is introduction of visitors. No trees here tonight. Next order, and so there's no citizen input. Next order of business is the committee reports, and it's the May 2nd Finance Committee.
So Paul couldn't be here. He's transporting his son to
Texas, right?
No,
Arizona.
Phoenix,
Arizona,
Arizona.
sorry,
Right.
right.
But he did actually make the Finance Committee report last month because we had the meeting right before this meeting. And now the official minutes of that meeting are in this board package. So people who are interested in the official minutes of that Finance Committee meeting can read them in this package.
To have a little glass of wine. Next order of business.
Fine, come on there.
Yes, and just read those finance.
Yes.
The next order of business is the June 6th Long Range Planning Committee report.
So we had the Long Range Planning Committee this evening. 2 points of discussion during that meeting. One was the preparation of and going over the slides for the public presentation of the budget and where we stand next Monday night. And that was a very, very extensive discussion, very enlightening, lively discussion on that. And the second thing that we discussed was some of the outcomes of the consultant study relating to the proposed art center and how we're going to do all of that. And those are the two things. So there was a motion that was passed to move forward with the slides as edited, proposed edits in the slides, and that was passed, and we adjourned.
And now the full board has to make that motion.
Right. So I make a motion.
Bill?
Yes, sir.
One other thing, there was a motion to increase the capital projects budget to a maximum of 7 million.
That was a
which
change in
passed.
that was a change in the slides.
Oh, well, okay. So that was
Yeah.
passed with one dissenting vote.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'll be in the minutes.
that'll be in
for
the
the
minutes.
long
It
range.
won't be in the.
Okay.
All right. So I make a motion to authorize the staff to prepare the materials for the June 13th annual public hearing based on the outlined budgetary assumptions and to include the agenda item regarding the results of the feasibility study for an art center in Reston. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. That motion carries. And with that,
Thank you, sir. The next order of business is the board member input on activities.
don't we have to approve the two
The
committee
points.
reports?
Oh, yes, that's true.
I move we approve the two committee reports as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say nay. All right, Deb.
Okay, now, board member input on activities attended since last you were here.
Man, lots of meetings. Tons and tons of meetings. Getting to that stage. Nothing really, I mean, other than the normal run-of-the-mill kinds of things. We had excitement this weekend with the Park Authority. We had a rabid coyote running
yeah, I saw the
around,
news.
running around
Yeah.
Springfield. So we actually had to evacuate, close and evacuate Lake Akating on Saturday and Sunday. 3 people were bitten. 2 dogs were bitten.
But then the police officer.
So they will now have to go through because it did come back positive for rabies.
It
And
did?
so it did.
Really?
And a policeman was bitten from behind, but he was able to get his revolver out and shoot the animal. And so we ended all of that saga yesterday about 3 o'clock. But a more happy note is if you are a volunteer at the Park Authority or help in any way, the water mine this Friday is having an open soiree for volunteers from 4 until 7. So please come out and enjoy a swim and the slides and everything that the water mine has to offer at Lake Fairfax.
Lazy River.
That's it.
Okay. I tried to, it's been so long since our last meeting, but I attended the Ed Bagley outdoors, and we had they spoke here, but also the planning of the pollinating garden, and that was really neat to hear the whole story behind that. And it's really kind of neat that Ruston's going to be one of the places that's helping make our society greener. I attended Fairfax County Board of Supervisors luncheon or breakfast.
Breakfast.
Breakfast, that's right. Breakfast last,
Fairfax breakfast.
just for the holiday weekend. And I attended Pride Fest on the plaza, yes, the Lake End Plaza Saturday, which is much better weather than last year. It's always well attended. A lot of people. They're coming from all over this, having the Pride. So that was quite neat. I think that was just different things going for me this month. I missed a lot of the shows that I planned to go to.
Your mother's service was really beautiful.
I didn't know it was appropriate to say it, so can I say something?
Yes.
For those of you who know, my mother passed away just at our last meeting on May 4th. She had been sick for a year, but things got kind of bad there at the end. But I'm very grateful to the Reston Community Center for offering us the space here because we couldn't have our service where we wanted to, but she had a wonderful mass attended by lots of people in the community, people who invited us here and welcomed us 35 years ago, or no, 40, almost 40 years ago, 45 years ago when we moved to Reston. And just we have people from all different generations there. And so I was surprised how many people were there, but it was a wonderful service. And then here, boy, the community center staff just not only setting up, everything was just, it ran smoothly and made it very easy for the family. And all the staff was very supportive to me, and people I thought didn't even know me here came and said, I'm sorry for your loss. And so that was really kind of neat. So for what's been a very hard month, just to have people really come out and be caring and supportive has made it been much easier. And I know that this will be a rough year going forward because it's tough. I'd like to thank Lila, the board, and everyone else who came out and supported me. It was and my family. They thought it was beautiful, and they wow, how nice. And so and I would like to thank Beverly for singing. My friends said, where did you find her? I said, Beverly. At Reston Treasure, she did 2 solos. One was a song that my mother asked to have sung at her funeral many years ago. I'm like, what? People? But it was a song I'd heard, but I asked Beverly, and she started singing it right away. I said, would you do that? And she did 2 solos, that one and then How Great Thou Art. Several people said you had them in tears. They go, where did you find her? But it's just very moving. And our choir from my church said, she's phenomenal, get her to join. I said, she's already at her church. So but
She's
it just, yeah, she's booked. She's booked. But all around, it was just nice.
She's booked.
Yeah, she's booked for the wear. But it just, to me, it felt very community. And I said in here, I don't know how many people in the staff, but I did, this is kind of one of my mom's second home. She became my +1 since I was on the board because my husband didn't want to come to a lot of things, not in a bad way, but my mom loved it. And she learned more about Reston and everyone kind of knew her. And she was really more the volunteer. So I was like, well, Lisa's here because of you. So she really, I really can say that I'm the person I am, and I do a lot of social justice because my mom did that throughout her life. And I didn't think it impacted me that much, but now I see it really did. So thank you again.
Mark related.
Yeah, so thank you.
Your coyote story, I was bitten as a kid by a rabid dog,
Oh,
and I had to have
the
one
shot.
shot.
Yeah.
Is it 21 or 36?
Yeah.
Oh,
21.
they're
Yeah.
painful.
And I told my mother, just let me die.
Oh.
And
Glad
said,
she didn't
"No,
listen."
no, no."
Yeah.
Calm me down. So I hope it's easier this round.
Very good.
They say it's a
Those
good
6
meeting.
people,
Yeah.
those 4 people are going through it today.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have a window. If you don't get through the window of opportunity, you can die. You know.
Anyway,
Nice. Sorry for the sadness.
on a happier note, I attended the Arts Festival, which was
Yep.
lovely but very hot.
Yes,
And
it is.
the Pride Festival, the weather was much more
Yes.
conducive to hanging out. And that's about it.
I went to the Leadership Fairfax lunch. It was really a very nice affair, in spite of the fact that it was absurdly early in the morning.
It's a breakfast, you do
Yeah, it was.
realize.
Yeah.
Actually, not a terrible breakfast either. It was good. And I'm very impressed with the capital
spending
facility.
money.
It's really, really good. But most of our time this month was planning and going to a nice vacation, first one we've had in quite a while, to St. Kitts in the Caribbean.
Oh, wow.
And it was amazing what you have to go through to travel to another country and to get back to the US.
Yeah.
Many tests. But neither Marion nor I caught COVID on either the trip or while we were there. So I feel a little bit like Bev. Gone all of that, and yeah, what did you not know?
I think this is good.
Yes. But unfortunately, our son Ken, who also went with us, did not get COVID while we were there on the trip, but then did get COVID a week afterwards, and so he's been isolated. But it hasn't affected Marion and us anyway. I mean, he's better now.
Good.
So anyway, that's what I.
So, at Bagley, the On Trio and the dance company, that was really nice. The task force is maybe winding down or grinding down. Maybe it's grinding down.
Grinding down.
Yeah. They got staff input, which they're mostly rejecting, and we'll see what happens from there. But they, maybe it'll be done this month. Maybe. For the time being, anyway.
Let's see what happens first, solar panels or the end of the task force? Equally daunting.
And then I missed the arts festival, but we went to Philadelphia, which to my surprise was really enjoyable. Maybe only for a weekend, but for a weekend, I was amazed at how beautiful the parks are down in the downtown area. And the restaurants were excellent.
You weren't in
The
Center
museums
City,
were
were
great.
you?
Pardon?
You weren't in Center City, were you?
Yeah.
Probably,
Is that
yeah.
there?
I mean,
Stuff going on.
Rittenhouse Square,
That was
whatever
last
it is.
weekend.
And
He was
it
there.
was surprising.
Oh, gotcha.
That was hard. We didn't get to St. Kitts. We went to Philly.
The art museum in Philly is much better than any in St. Kitts.
I went to the Board of Supervisors Leadership Fairfax. Went to Pride Day on the plaza. And Baratunde Thurston, which was, that we need to have him back again. Because he was amazing, and all of the other things I missed because I was quarantining, or it was too hot for me to come up with the
Yeah.
house. Yeah. Next order of business is the executive director's report.
So if you just flip to the back of your books, we had an experience in May that was delightful. RCC underwrote the visit by the artist Hamilton Glass to Dogwood Elementary School, where they worked on a project with the kids to create a mural at the Kiss and Ride. And we also did, I think we talked about this last month, a joint event with Kathy Hudgens Community Center at Southgate and the school and Public Art Reston and RCC, and there were probably 100+ people at that event. And it's just a really gorgeous mural, and it was a wonderful experience. RCC Rides is fully operational. We gave 14 rides in May, so that's a good service. I urge people who are interested in meaningful volunteer experiences to think about being a volunteer driver for that program. It is a very vital program for people who can't get out otherwise. The Tour to Hunter Mill, the second tour to Hunter Mill occurred in May, and they had 100+ bicyclists. We supported Supervisor Alcorn's office and a bunch of other partners with that event. We also took the Tricia Brown Dance Company to the Fine Arts Festival, the Tufra Festival. We got to teach ourselves to call it the Tufra Festival now. Their head count for that 3-day weekend was 30,000 people,
Wow.
and that's always a nice boost to our profile and our participation numbers. And we had a great booth that Lorna and Karen and the team from our media and program departments operated. Lots of kids
Lots of
making
sweat.
sun visors, very apt giveaway there. I want to just give a shout out to our arts and events team. They supported more than 20 different performances in the month of May, rehearsals and performances, and they worked nonstop. It was not just here in the theater, it was in the community room, the theater, outdoors at Reston Town Square Park and at the Reston Station. So they have been running their real tushies off. We've had lots of participation in our programs that have delivered rhapsodic customer reviews about our classes, our fine arts, our enrichment, fitness, and wellness classes. Our facility rental services, if you're ever here on a weekend, you know that all of that activity has started up. People are having birthday parties and graduation parties and weddings and baby showers and memorial services. We have the full circle of life in this building. The website continues to be developed. We're going to be looking at some testing experiences coming up shortly. We had our final audit activity in the month of May, and that was clean and no findings, which is always good news. And then our annual CAPR report was prepared, and I think all of you know that Kevin Danaher has been promoted to the position of Director of Leisure and Learning, and we will soon be recruiting for the new department head of offsite and collaboration programming. And I go to lots and lots of meetings, and I love them all.
Why are you lying?
There's nobody here for cross-examination.
I actually do.
The next order of business is unfinished business. It says old on your thing, but we don't deal with
Should
that
I really
one.
be changing that, or is that, are we just
No,
being funny?
that's Bev.
Okay,
That's
all right,
Bev.
just being funny.
That's me. It's old, and that's the way it
Seasoned
should be,
business.
but
Yeah.
it's unfinished. Is there anything? Nothing? Okay, next order of business is new business. Take note of the annual public hearing, which is next week, and the concert series.
Yeah, we are in Reston Town Square Park on Thursday evenings at 5 o'clock. And on Thursday nights at 7 o'clock, we're at Reston Station. Friday night at 7 o'clock, we're at Reston Station. Saturday morning, we're back in Reston Town Square Park. Sundays in the evenings, we're at Reston Town Square Park. And coming up in late July and August, we'll be at a bunch of different RA parks doing entertainment and activities. And we have crafternoons in the Opportunity neighborhoods all through the summer, and fun around town in those neighborhoods, which are more family evening events. The crafternoons are kid-focused craft activities. So we are very busy, and camp starts at the end of the month. Yeah. We are pretty fully subscribed.
And my son and at the moment my granddaughter work at Matchbox. And are real excited that there were concerts out there.
Stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were getting lonely in there. Now they're giving patrons. So she said, and so they were saying, thank you, Reston Community Center. Is
That's all
there,
about.
any, you have anything else to say? You're the only one I will look to for anything else. Do you have anything else?
We're glad you're back.
Back in my seat.
Yeah.
Okay, the meeting for June 6, 2022 is now adjourned.